I'm going to go ahead and do that introduction again since I was not audible, and I do put these things on YouTube, and with a little bit of creative editing, they'll never know. So,
especially if you say it out loud.
Hello and welcome back to the Bad Decisions Club presents The Dancing Hut of Baba Yaga. This is our latest sort of season, if you will, and I'm really looking forward to it. I have been for quite some time. This is going to be amazing. And I'll just go ahead and drop that in at the very beginning of the video. So, friends.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Hall. My pronouns are he, him. I will be playing Calder Creed this evening, our resident sorcerer, and temporarily trading his dad issues for brother issues, just for change of pace.
I'm playing Delmain said brother issues. I am playing a cleric paladin who has probably at least one solid argument coming, minimum. I am the parole officer of the group.
I'm Jen Winterrose, also known as the Swedish Geekball, and I am playing the Widow Maven Iron Ladle, our resident Malm barbarian dwarf.
I'm not dying from a chip. I don't know what you're talking about. My name is Gail, or Olivia. I will be playing Charlotte, the human wizard warlock, and her lovely little familiar Swoops. I'll pronounce she, her. Swoops is usually he, him, but we'll see.
He does what he wants.
Okay.
He is a shapeshifter.
And I'll just go ahead and drop that in at the very beginning of the video. So, friends, let's talk a little bit about what happened last time. I will go ahead and clock that gold. And by the way, I did put some of the awards back up on Twitch. Mm-hmm. So if you want to give advantage, if you want to give +2, that is a thing that you can do. Just remember that these chuckleheads will not remember to use it. So
I have some points saved up. If I pay for it, maybe I'll use it.
Like right before you make the roll. So last time we kind of got underway, right? Last time was actually technically the first session of the Baba Yaga Saga, which I have decided I'm going to call it specifically because it sounds awful.
Oh, no, I love the Baba Yaga Saga. It's very literal and rhyming. I'm there for that.
You got a little bit of information about who Baba Yaga is and what her deal is. You also learned a little bit about how her hut itself sort of affects the land around it, and I believe with the help of Dell using Commune with Nature, you were able to hone in on her actual spot, the spot of her actual hut pretty quickly. As I recall, there was a random encounter that again involved werewolf, because it always involves werewolves. Totally random, it really was. And you managed to tool through them pretty quickly, though, and when you defeated them, the fog kind of parted, and you were able to make your way to the hut unimpeded. From there, you had a nice, lovely chat with the rather arrogant skull that opens and closes the gate. Dell was able to use previous familiarity with this creature to basically bribe him into being nice and let you all in.
What was his name? What was his name? The head skull.
His name was... Hold on.
Give me back.
No, it's fine. I've got it. I've got it. Kotan. Kotan. Kotan was his name.
Cool.
And
sad thing is that I'll forget that, but Maven would not. And I'm not playing Krita as an excuse to immediately forget somebody's name.
And then you utilized the password, which I believe you found. I believe Sven got the password for you off of a legend lore spell. And you were able to use the password to get the dancing hut to stop dancing for a moment and come down to your level and open the door. And I believe we ended with you all entering the dancing hut. Does that all sound about right?
Instead, jumped up into it and wrestled its fucking door open.
We were very polite. We used the keyword.
Yeah, but no. My question is that a possibility that could have happened?
Yes. In fact, the other way to get into the hut is to damage the legs until it basically falls over, and then you can get in there. So yes, you can just beat the hut into submission, at least for a moment.
So Okay, right. Let me explain before we jump into why my thoughts were on that, right?
Okay.
And that's because if we decided to play this like a heist, there's no fucking way that we can get inside by making the hut get all like low and shit and not have Baba Yaga know that we're going inside. If we were gonna try to be all sneaky about it, we would have had to like fly that bitch in and like kick the door in. And that's the only way that we could get in undetected.
There are, in fact, again, like we're stretching this out a little bit, but that's okay. There are some
Sorry.
defenses that it's got against flying attackers as well. But if you manage to make the rolls and they didn't, it could definitely have worked.
This is just for the audience, just in case if they
Yeah.
decide to play this later and want to like go in, sneak a like.
Yeah, the
for you.
the
We're doing
module
great. We're being polite
Fine.
and
Yeah,
asking,
we're-
and
the module makes
nobody
it
has
pretty
been
clear.
rude yet.
The module makes it pretty clear that, like, if you're in there, Baba Yaga probably knows who you are and what you're doing, but she can only pay attention to one thing at a time. Well, that's not true, but she can only pay attention to so many things at a time. So she could be looking at you anytime, but she can't be looking at you all the time unless she's really like fixated. Yeah, and I believe that's a pretty solid recap. But I know for a fact that I missed some stuff. Is there any details that anybody wants to jump in with and let me know what I missed?
during that fight with the werewolves, Charlotte got bit and didn't make her save.
That's
but
right.
we don't have to worry about that immediately.
Don't worry
Just
about it. That's not a now
bringing it back
problem.
up so that the
That's
audience knows.
That's a later problem.
I mean, you're
That's not a right now.
Totally a later problem.
you're
That's-
about to
that's
interact
weird.
with you're theoretically about to interact with someone who basically invented curses. So I think you'll probably be okay. Maybe, who knows?
It'll be fine.
You say that.
That's not the wildest shit going on with Charlotte.
Not the
so
wildest
it'll
shit
be fine.
going on. Jen, Maven performed incredibly well in that fight. Do you wanna remind me a little bit about that?
Maven kicked some butt.
Did you miss
so
one attack?
I missed one attack. I killed several things with just like one or two attacks at a go with my giant iron ladle.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it was fun. I did. You tallied up the total amount of damage I did in all 5
It was
turns
just
that I
shy.
took, and it was like 266 or something.
Something like
It
that.
was just shy of like an average of 30 per hit. It was
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
solid damage.
There was at least one crit. It was pretty ridiculous. It was a very fun fight. I look forward to many more fun fights.
So that was fun. She was definitely a real fun little battle maid going on there. Fantastic.
And Jeff, was there anything you wanted to throw in there as well? I know Calder did some stuff.
The main thing that Calder did that fight was orchestrated a Three Stooges routine for the werewolves, but
It was fantastic. Okay.
just a series of
Grease, that's
crap
right.
falls, and because Grease is a frighteningly efficient spell at later levels, because my spell DC is the difficulty to not fall down. So
Now, as
that's
a
good
quick
dex.
As a quick note to the viewers, I did fudge the rules there. I did that on purpose to make a nice, fun pratfall situation. Generally speaking, if they fall over once, they get up and spend the rest of their turn moving freely. You only have to make the next one when you start your turn there again. But I thought that was hilarious and amazing, so I'm glad I ruled it that way.
They actually have to, they make the save at the end of if they have
At the end of
ended
their
their
turn.
movement there.
Right.
But
But yes, so one last thing I wanted to mention before we jump into the game, and that is something that we've already talked about, but I want to say it again anyway, just to establish expectations. This is a very different kind of dungeon from anything that you have run or that I've run for anybody before. This is going to be a very, very interesting little experiment, and there will be puzzles that you might have to loop back to. There will be puzzles that might be very difficult. There are encounters in this that are not balanced at all. So you'll have to be clever, you'll have to be cunning, you will have to be cautious as well. So, with that, let's go ahead and jump into the game.
Yeah.